All right, so this is my new 2021 S1000RR, and really, I don't know how I feel about the bike. I kind of bought it impulsively. I sold my other S1000 and then I chose to get this bike. Of course, it had to be black, and you'll understand that once I take a tour through my garage, but I don't know how I feel about it. You know, it's not exactly the same as the old S1000s, or the older gens, shall I say. And really, I think I would have more fun with the older gens versus this one, outside of being on the actual track. You know, yeah, so far what I've done to this bike, I have a WRS windscreen, Lightech mirror block offs, which as soon as you take off any mirrors or rear license plate, that sort of thing, it tells you electronically on the dash. I deleted the reflectors on the fender. I was entertaining the thought of getting carbon fiber wheels, but more than likely I'm probably not going to do that because it's just too much money and I don't feel like doing it. It already comes with lightweight wheels. I was also looking at carbon fiber for this bike, but I'm trying to stay away from that, and you all will understand that a little bit later on in the video. What else did I do to this? Oh yeah, I got the tech spec, you know, on the tank for grip. And then I went with a 520 conversion kit, super light sprockets, Vortex front sprocket, EK chain, of course. I kept this, you know, 120 link stock wheelbase because this is my fun bike. I also have the NRC fender eliminator kit on it, and really, to date, outside of deleting decals, that is it. Oh yeah, and of course I have my Reaper symbol on it. I put this on all my bikes for the most part because I just think it's cool, and normally when I put this on a bike, it's probably modified in some way, shape, or form. This one won't be as modified as most of my other S1000s, but I figured, what the hell? It's my calling card, so to speak. I did buy some rear sets for this bike. Shout out to Jack B. Quick. However, they suck. They was not the same color, and therefore I took them off. So what I think I'm going to do is probably just powder coat these stock ones, because realistically, again, this is just a fun bike to play around with in the street, potentially go to the track. In the rear, I did swap the rear rotor. I had a lightweight rotor on this one, and so, but that's for one of my other S1000s. Oh, check it out.
Just got back from COVID testing.
Oh, okay. So the queen has returned from COVID testing. If you watch some other videos, I got a couple of videos dedicated to her, but she supports my bad habit and or hobby. So what is my plans for this? I have the Woolwich software for this. I'm probably gonna flash it, obviously get it tuned. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a MR12 tune on this. I'm still debating. I think that realistically, the plan for this bike is not to race, so there's really not much more that I'm gonna do to it. I am waiting for my exhaust from Brock's. So Brock's is like taking forever to get me my doggone exhaust. Brock's, if you see this video, hurry it up, please. Thank you. But outside of that, and my filter, and a flash tune, and that's really going to be about it, at least for the time being. So that's enough about this bike. This bike to me though, really, no matter what happens, you know, when it's flash tuned, all of that, I'm assuming it's gonna make about 190 something horsepower or so, maybe 200 plus on MR12, but that's slow. So enough of this bike. I'll get back to the pros and cons to it and a whole nother other video, but just a tour. All right, this is Twinkles. My wife, she She named the bike. Doesn't look like much, but I have the plastics and stuff off because they got wrapped. So yeah, I'll have to install all of that. I got to go through some things on the bike. I picked this up on an impulse. Most of these bikes in here are impulse. I see somewhat of a deal and I just decide, you know what? I don't have one of those, so I think I should probably buy it because it's cheap. And then I love modifying things and working on stuff myself. So it just kind of worked itself out. I haven't had the time to get to this, but I've already changed the rear sets, the exhaust, and a couple other things on the bike, lightweight battery, that sort of thing. And then once I get the time, I'll be going through this bike. So I guess I'll go straight down the line. This is my drag bike. This is Karma. It's not really a grudge bike, but it's set up for a lot of power. It's a true hand clutch bike. I probably could get away with cheating and going with a slider of some sort, but until I get my stuff straight and get my seat time, I'm not gonna do that. So it's sitting at about, I would say about 70 inches. It's nitrous capable. However, I haven't sprayed the bike as of yet. You know, totally built motor, all of that other stuff, so whatever. But that's Karma. This is Aries. Aries is a 2011 bike. I bought the bike with the intent on building it, and so this is, if you check out my other videos, this will be the stroker bike. Right now I have the wheel off because, well, I'll get to that, but I'm modifying the rear wheel. I did a brake delete for it, so, and you know, this bike has a bunch of phases, if you will, that it's got to go through. So far, I mean, it's not ready to ride. I have to drop the motor, turn it into my man, Gooch Motorsports. Shout out to Lee. He'll be working on the motor for me, and this will be a stroker bike. So right now, a lot of the things that's on the bike is just a mock-up because although it looks like a 2015 or 18, 19, this is a 2011. So anybody out there that's watching this video that is tired of looking at the older gen, yeah, you can, you know, you can change the plastics on the bike. It takes a little bit of money, you know, and it, you know, drop in the comments if you're interested in it, you know what I mean, or find me on Facebook, IG, and then I'll tell you exactly what I've done so far. This is not finished. And I do have a couple of things in my other videos of some of the ups and downs that I've gone through with this modification. It does have, or this conversion, it does have some Coromoto Apex 6 wheels, and then it has some other things that's going on with it. I am gonna get this red painted. I just do not like too much color, so it has to be black. But that's really it. I mean, the expectation for this is hopefully this bike will make, I would say, 20 through 240 horsepower on motor. And then this bike will be nitrous capable as well. But I mean, again, this has several phases, so. All right, so this is my Queen's track bike. I'm still waiting on her new decals to get in. I got the decals, but the decals didn't fit properly, so I ordered them. Now, this is my track bike right next to it, you know, because we got a his and hers theme going on in here. So this is a 2014 S1000RR, full bolt on, that sort of thing. A lot of times I get kicked off the track because my exhaust is too loud, but whatever, who cares? Again, this is my baby, and it's been some years since I've actually ridden on the track, but hopefully this one day will change to advance. At one point in 2016, I was running advanced pace, but you know how it is. 2016 to 2021, I'm not doing as well as I was. Or maybe I'm just getting older and my reaction time is not as cool as it used to be. I was trying to sham and get rid of this bike, but the queen over there, oh, she changed clothes. She doesn't appreciate it. So she's gonna keep this bike probably for the long haul because she has fun on it. This is a 2006, I believe, R6, and it's full bolt on, all of that conversion stuff. Same with this one, 2014 S1000RR. Never mind the mess, because I am currently working on a French Jigsaw 1000. I'm not gonna disclose any information about that because it's not that important. Okay, and then in the background you see some of the mini bikes and stuff. Yeah, they're dusty because we don't have any children, so they only get ridden when I got kids or my wife wants to have fun and play around on them. This Busa, honestly, I bought this thing specifically for the motor, and then somehow I show up and the gentleman did not drop the motor, so I ended up buying the entire bike. So more than likely, this will turn into a Gen 2 Busa. I don't know if I'm gonna replace the frame or keep the frame. I don't like the color of the frame because, as you can see, the theme in my garage more than likely is black. Now, what should be in this space right here, but this Jigsaw 1000 is here, is there should be a 2016 S1000RR. Look through my videos. It is a bike that I built for my wife. It is currently away at Lee's. Shout out to Lee again. It is getting nitrous added. And it's I would say about 70, 80, 90% carbon fiber bike. All right, so this is, what do we call this bike? J-Lo? You know, Jennifer Lopez. So this is J-Lo. And J-Lo is my wife's favorite bike. She enjoys this bike even though she has a 1000 she can ride. But she loves the bike. Full bolt on. This is pump gas and MR12 tuned. And ironically it's not clean, but I mean, the bike looks practically new. We just recently, she took this to the track as well as her track bike, and she told me that she likes this bike a lot. So I don't know if we're gonna convert this and then get another 1000 or not for her to ride in the streets. That remains to be seen. This is Megatron. I got this bike in 2015, and it's your typical supercharger gear, blah, 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 300 plus horsepower bike. Not gonna go through that because it's a love-hate relationship. I got a couple other, one other video where I tell you why I think H2 suck. I probably can make 2, 3, 4, 5 videos of why I hate this bike. But I like the bike. That's why it's still sitting here. There's carbon wheels and it's stretched. You know, I would like to say this was one of the first, actually ain't one of the first, it was the first evil swing arm that was made. Got the bike, ordered the bike, got the bike, and then I turned this bike into Eagle swing arms, and then, I'm not Eagle, what the hell did I say Eagle for? Duh, that should be a blooper at the end. Evil swing arms, and then, you know, they mocked this up, and then they did what they did, and then there's provisions for a ZX10 wheel versus a ZX14. I was trying to sham and then say to myself, well, ZX14s are heavier, bigger than, you know, a ZX10 obviously, so I figured I would save weight if I asked them to do a ZX10 conversion versus a ZX14. So, all of those out there that's running around on ZX10 rear ends on H2s, hey, I'm just saying, holla at me. All right, this is my wife's drag bike. She's only ridden this thing like once or twice. I've ridden it like 2 or 3 times. Now, most people think this is a ZX10. It is not. It is actually a 600, a ZX6. Just a lot of custom parts, that sort of thing that's on it. My wife's 4'11", so she, you know, we had to make it fit her. And this, the name of this bike is Bonnie. Damn, did I tell you the name of, well, that's J-Lo, Megatron, Bonnie. Oh yeah, and the bike over there, her track bike is Trinity. And then this bike here is the Draco. And I call it the Draco because, you know, rappers, I don't know, it just sounds cool to me. So I might change the name by the time it's finished. An ETA on when this bike is gonna be finished, I have no freaking idea. But This is my turbo bike to be. And as you can see, I didn't spare any expense with carbon fiber. I mean, if you look over here, well, I got different parts for different bikes, but in all those boxes and stuff under there, this is nothing but performance parts for 2 to 3 of these bikes, not counting the motor stuff. And I have carbon fiber for days. I've had this carbon fiber for like I would say at least 2 years. And then that's the stuff over there for Pebbles, because again, she's off getting nitrous added. So at any rate, I wish Pebbles was here so I could show you Pebbles, but you have to watch another video. But this is the average of what I do constantly with these bikes. So drop a comment and let me know. I mean, I have this. I'll see how this turns out. To me, this obviously will be slower than that bike, and hopefully it'll have similar power to that bike over there. So, and I know it won't have the power that Pebbles has because the motor's been tapped, or touched. But so far, I like this bike because it handles extremely well, and really that's the only pro with this bike, and the crazy electronics that this bike has. Outside of that, man, yeah, I like the bike. Well, kind of, sort of. So what I'm doing over here is I bought a bunch of spacers from the hardware store, and since I did the brake delete, I got these spacers so I can space it out. And I got my micrometer too. If you're looking to do something like this, get your micrometer. You know, measure the rear brake rotor and then space that out, because you want your speed sensor to work in the rear if you do a brake delete. I'm assuming this goes for any bike that you're doing a brake delete and then keeping the speed sensor if it's in the rear, but that's how I'm doing things. And then I have an extra rear, and so I'm going to be chopping this up very, very soon so I can install that wheel back on Aries. So, what bike should I get next? I'm not really sure. I like the Ducati. I kind of like the R1M, at least the black version of it. I saw that down in Atlanta when I went to the H2 races, or meet/races, but I'm not really sure. And even then, you know, what do you think I should do to this? For me, you know, I always drop the motor and then get the motor touched, because to me, stock bikes are slow. But what do you think? Realistically, I think I'm just gonna leave this as it is, because I have other things that's faster than this. And what you don't wanna do, or what I don't wanna do, is involve myself in too many projects that I can't afford. So, anyway, thanks for checking out the garage, tuning into the channel. Obviously, like, subscribe, share. And if there's anything that you guys want to see, I'm trying my best to hold this camera, because I'm my own cameraman / worker. So this is a hobby for me. I actually work on my own bikes for the most part. So, you know, if there's anything else you want to see, just let me know. And if I can afford it, I'll make it happen. Or if I have the time, I'll make it happen. And if not, well, just do a search on YouTube. I'm pretty sure someone out there has done it before, or at least attempted it. Anyway, holla at you.